is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Before we start, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch tonight. If you're interested, I'm going to be playing Euro Truck because we've got a Greece DLC and not the Christmas event yet. A bit disappointed about that. Link to my Twitch in the pinned comment down below. Join us. It's casual, it's fun, it's driving badly. Today we're going to be taking a look at Amberlynn Reid's most recent video release titled I'm Done Full Stop. It is, as always, majority dislike, top comment ignoring mine. Okay, so where's Wasabi's microchip and collar at? Quickly. You're not done until you find that cat girl. Bye. And you know what I'm done with? Clickbaitmas. Oh wait, she's quitting it anyway. Huzzah. There's a reason for that, and it ties into the cat stuff as well.
Hello, welcome to a new Vlogmas. So I'm finally wearing my Capricorn necklace. I love it so much. So if you guys don't know anything about me, I do prefer a shorter necklace. So I always wear it the shortest it can go. Because I just don't like a long necklace. I don't really know like what it is. I just think necklaces look better like on me when they're closer to the neck.
So because you say you don't know, I thought I would take the opportunity to tell you why it is you have your necklaces so short. For the majority of your time on YouTube, you have always worn a choker. There are very few videos, in fact, where a choker has not featured. It is reasonable to assume that because of the knowledge that it is in fact on your neck, you can feel it. You have it shorter for the necklace because you can feel that as well. Although how you get that on baffles me. With those fingers and how small, there are too many questions.
So I do want to talk to you guys about something, and I know people are going to get very upset with this decision. I am fully aware of that, but I think I need to do what is best for my mental health.
Because I'm going into this video blind, we are left with two choices as to what it is that Amber is currently doing. Either she is A, ceasing in her attempts to find her cat, although since we have covered all the videos so far this month and she has done nothing to find her cat, this wouldn't mean much of a change in her life. The second is, Vlogmas is over. Now this one, I could believe to be more likely than the former, because she's been getting a lot of criticism. Hi, I'm one of them. Because as far as I'm concerned, you need to do more to find your cat. The window of opportunity to find your cat has diminished so much, it is unlikely you will ever find your cat alive. And I don't like that thought. I don't like that I had to say it either. So let's work out which one it is.
And I'm doing that in several different areas of my life right now, even if it is hard. And I think ultimately, sometimes there is like just this one moment where it's like the straw that broke the camel's back, or it's like the one last drop of water that overfilled the cup. And sometimes it's not even warranted, but it's just like that one thing that's like, you know what, I've just like had enough.
I like that you think there are going to be a lot of people who are annoyed with whatever it is you're about to decide to do, as if that's ever going to be any different for anything you ever do. You're building this up as if it's some big moment situation type deal. A grand crescendo for the year of 2024 for Amberlynn Reid. But you know as well as I do, December is one of the most important months of the year. One of the reasons I've covered you so much, even though we're not doing so well on views with this, is because the videos I spent the most time on didn't do that well at all. The ones I believed would do well, I put too much time in. Not the end of year reviews, by the way. And that's fine. It's a consequence. So what do? We adapt and we push on. We have no choice, because I want to do well this month. So I will push as hard as I can to crack on and get the job done right. There will be some changes in January, so don't worry guys. I promise. We're not going to be doing Dainty Queens in January every single day. That's madness.
So for me, it's two instances, and yes, this is about my cat Rarity. First one is people comparing it to a cat that my uncle had who lived across the street from me when I was 4 years old. That was an outside cat that went missing. When people compare that, like literally I was 4, wasn't even my cat.
I'm going to insert that even after all the years of covering you, I know nothing of that. I know that there are a lot of people in the States that have outdoor pets. Some are kept in kennels. I don't support kennels, I hate them. And I hate it when a cat is considered exclusively an outdoor cat in a country as vast as the United States of America or Republic. It's a lot harder in more rural areas to keep those pets safe. So I would prefer to keep them mostly indoors, yes, but not entirely. Instinct is important for a cat to be active outside. We have 2 cats here that are exclusively outdoor cats, and 2 that are very much indoor cats. Although one of them runs out of the house every time they see some of the children. It's quite funny. For the sake of this story, I know nothing of it though, so I cannot offer an opinion because I don't quite understand how she's tying it into the story yet.
When people compare that to Rarity, it invalidates the pain that I'm going through with Rarity, and it kind of takes away everything that I've shared about this situation. This whole thing has been absolutely heartbreaking for me in more ways than one.
I'm going to list off the top of my head the ways that it's heartbreaking for you, because you failed to protect your animal, because you have been unable to find your animal. Those are the only two I can think of instant. By the way, for this to be truly heartbreaking, I find there's some weird little juxtaposition between feeling heartbreak and then monetizing your heartbreak. There's something about that feels like an inconsistency. I'm not quite sure how to articulate it, and I also don't want to be seen as a hypocrite. So I won't say that is wrong. I'll let my audience do that for me. Although I think your comment section have already done it, I wouldn't be surprised. There are hundreds of comments there. Small addition. If you allow what other people say to you to somehow have you question the validity of what you've said, which is impressive for somebody who's so high on their own flatulence for far too long, then you are obsessing far too much about your haters and what your haters think about what you do, think, say. That high horse is looking a bit brittle these days, isn't it?
I have lost a fur baby that I considered, my daughter. Like, I can't have real children. That was taken from me when I was diagnosed with cancer. My fur babies are like my kids, and I love them. Have I been perfect? No. I was never taken care of as a kid. I was never taught normal things. So when I started raising 3 fur babies of my own, that was a big change for me. I have never and would never do anything to hurt them or to make their existence harder. I have tried everything I can to love them and care for them because they are ultimately my world. And I love them so fucking much. Like, you guys have no idea.
I will admit the equivalence of that for one's love for their pets and the inability to have children is a fascinating one. It would surely open up much in the way of discussion about the validity and sincerity. I'm not going to do that because I genuinely felt bad for you when you lost the ability to have a child. I felt the same way for Chantel and anyone else that can't. Truly, I felt bad for you. You constantly have to affirm that people can't understand what you're going through. This constant as if you are somehow so complicated is a baffling mentality you present. You are a vlogger that doesn't vlog, but you air your grievances from time to time. And as time has gone by, you've aired more and more of them, showing a level of mental acuity, sure, that is lacking, most certainly.
Like, I think that's why this bothers me so much, is because they're like one part of me that has been constant. They're my family. They're like truly my family. And they've been my constant for like 8 years now, like 8 to 9 years. I look at them as if like they're parts of my heart that is just like up and walking around. They're truly everything to me.
I am not going to sit here and question the validity of whether or not you do or do not care about your pets. I'd like to be a bit more optimistic in this respect and say that I believe everyone cares about their pets in some way. There are some who are more dismissive than others. Perhaps they use them as a trophy to trot out when it suits them. Or they go onto panels like LolCal Live to talk about the fact they neglected their pet to try and use some faulty information to fob it off as if they did care. Or the fact they hide behind the argument that their audience are the reason they won't get their cat spayed, or didn't for the longest time. There are many types of creator I've seen who genuinely do care about their pets. Sadly, on YouTube as a platform, we don't see that much anymore, in favour of people clipping TV shows and uploading that as if it's new, fresh, original content, and AI bots.
So like people comparing my uncle's cat that was an outside cat from when I was 4 years old to this situation is just like a lot for me. And then the whole voicemail thing where it's like, I want to show you guys that the deceased cat that the Humane Society has is not Rarity. I know there are a lot of people who genuinely care and they're like, oh my god, is that Rarity? Because a lot of you also love her too. So it's like, for those people, I wanted to put your guys' mind and heart to rest.
Small thing. First of all, I'm going to believe on face value that that is not your cat. I will obviously state that there are beliefs the cat is that cat. I will state the belief that others believe your cat has passed and you are withholding that information. I'm not saying it because I believe them, I'm stating it because those rumours are not going to go anywhere. Because you never prove or disprove anything in anything you do. That is a verifiable fact from your content from 10 years of YouTube. I can believe you love your cat. I really can. However, The one thing you should be caring about is finding your cat, not making a video talking about loving your cat. And talking about how people within your audience love your cat as well. I find that to be strange. The priority is shifted here. You're looking for validation, verification, confirmation bias. That one comment in your comment section that will suddenly take your side. The solution is simple. Get up and go find your cat. Or tell the truth, whichever's correct. I'm not sure these days.
And I didn't feel comfortable like sharing the girl's voice. So that's why I took a screenshot of the voicemail. But it's like people are like, oh, that was probably Tommy who actually sent that voicemail, or Amberlynn probably sent it to herself. So you know what? Just one last time, just literally one last time, to prove that I'm not lying, here's the voicemail.
Just before we play it, I want to insert a comment because this is important. You are hyper-focusing far too much on the haters, which tells me you have plenty of free time to go and look for your cat. We know this because you're obsessing about your comments. You're clearly watching other people's videos. You punch down when you go after much smaller channels. Don't get me wrong here, that they may deserve some criticism, but you are on this. You watch your haters! You have to be, because beyond the comments, there are many people who have also questioned this in video and stream form, and you will have undoubtedly watched it. I'd love to see a "Oh Lordy, it's Geordie" live chat participant thing, because I could believe you're in there somewhere. If you had time to be in a foodie beauty chat, you definitely have time to be in other haters chats.
Hi, this is the Ash Humane Society. I'm just calling just to follow up on Rarity. I know you guys just submitted a lost cat report, and I just wanted to confirm that this is not the same cat that did come in. I know some people, the comments on Facebook were pretty rough. I did hide them. But I would really highly suggest not coming in. It was not a very pretty sight, but I can tell you for sure that the cat that we have has a big white blaze up its face. And then I was looking at the socks, and they weren't matching either. This one seems to have a little bit more white. But again, if you want to call and ask questions, feel free to do so. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I guess the problem now Amber will have is, even if that is proven to be true, that voice message and everything else, right? Because Amber has a track record of deception, many will say that you've dubbed audio over that and paid someone to do it. I'm not saying it. I'm going to, at face value, accept that as truth. Okay, where's the part where we talk about the title, where you are apparently done?
I did edit out her name because I don't think the transcript is correct when it comes to her name. So that's why I didn't block it out or anything. But I did edit it out when she said her name because I do not want to reveal that. And I also am not showing the number or anything like that because I do consider that some form of doxing, and I am not going to do that.
In this, I 100% agree with you. If you'd led with this in the first video, then the suspicion would not be as persistent as it could well be now. For the sake of it though, I will stand by and agree with, because I do not support, condone any form of doxing to anyone. Therefore, we should move on.
People always want to think that there's more to the story and that I'm lying and that this or that, and it's just become a lot. It has.
I'm not now going to say this is entirely your fault, because I don't have to. The communities we as creators cultivate as the years go by are a statement of the kind of person we are. That is a fact, okay? It's not an opinion. At this point, it is that. For the most part, I'm quite lucky, because I've been told that I'm a little bit reasonable, therefore I'm not considered too controversial. It's why up until the point I hit 100,000 I was argued to be by others a stealth YouTuber, because I didn't really cause, court, get involved in anything, fumbling to down, anything controversial. Yeah, I'm going to leave those in because apparently I'm on one today. Over the years, you have created a community based on your deception and the arrogance that came with the success you had on YouTube. The tens of thousands you were pulling in dollar-wise per month are dwindling down to the singles. But you did ride high enough that you dunked on your audience, you failed every diet. When people tried to send positivity your way, you took it for granted. In fact, you take so much for granted. You still do. It's why I make end-of-year reviews, because I wanted to prove a point that you never truly change. And I'll continue to do them, by the way. Not so sure about Foodie Beauty, but we'll work that out next year.
What I am deciding to do for my mental health is I am no longer going to be talking about Rarity at all. But I can promise those who love her that if she is found, I will tell you. And to have to every day defend myself is just exhausting.
There's a cynic inside my mind that wants to now say, do you know what's more exhausting than being upset by going and looking for the negativity to then use it to make content because I'm too lazy to make Christmas content? Finding your sodding cat, that's more exhausting. That requires energy, commitment, things you've never really been all about unless it involves having a ship to latch onto as a form of a barnacle, which is what you are. I was expecting Vlogmas to end. Not talking about rarity is perhaps a good thing, but in your future videos, if all you're doing is laughing, uploading 5-minute videos of you being all happy, people are going to continue to lay into you because the cat is the priority, not your ability to celebrate the month of Merry Meggy Moistmas.
Vlogmas has been depressing because I have been depressed. I'm literally going through a lot right now. Rarity is at the forefront of my mind, but like there are other things in my life. I don't want to like say anything personal, but things with like my dad, my brother. And yes, my foster mom passed away, and that's hard. Like she ultimately changed my last 2 years of high school. She became a foster parent specifically for me and my brother. Like I loved her dearly. Like if it wasn't for her, I don't know, like...
I'm going to provide some advice for you here that you might not like to hear. If this is too much for you, you should walk away from this. Because this is apparently hurting you. You can say you set yourself a challenge to upload a video every day for Vlogmas, even if it's 3 minutes long, you will upload. But ultimately, if your mental health isn't doing great and you need a break, you take the break. If you can't find your cat, call it quits. You're going to take lumps regardless of if you find your cat or not. I'm trying not to be callous here on purpose, because I don't want to be seen as such. If you need to take time away to deal with issues, deal with the issues. But if you can't deal with the issues and you're putting them on your shoulders, because I have relatives that do this, everyone else's problems are their problems, then you are intentionally dragging yourself down. You say you don't want to share, then you share a little. You're a vlogger. Your job is to share. So unless you intend to go back being a mukbanger, looking down on your audience and bringing back Shrimpgate for a lol, you have no options. Short of finding yourself an IRL job away from this non-tent you've been producing.
I don't want this Vlogmas to be depressing because I like to go back and look at old Vlogmases, and to know that this one has been just like miserable for me. It's just hard to wrap my head around because like Christmas is my favorite time of year and it doesn't even feel like Christmas.
Tell me, did it feel like Christmas last year or the year before when you were throwing out the stuff that was, reminded you, of Wipey, number whatever? Christmas is, and I know this for a fact, one of your favourite times of year, not just because of your birthday, but also because you like to put on a bit of a show, or you did in the past, when you did things. I have no doubt in my mind when you watch old Vlogmases, you watch them because ads, and because you get to reminisce of relationships you screwed up. Since Destiny and Beck have done a good job absolutely reaming you for this, I will happily say that verifiably. I really hope one day Wipey comes out and says something just for the lols, but at the same time, I'm glad they're not involved in your train wreck. Everything in this is about you, and I fully get that. I cut a bit out where you talk about your attempt at university or college, talking about your heroes, and that would be your foster mother. That's lovely. That really is. I cut it out because it wasn't relevant, really. When you make something all about yourself, you take away from the larger point. And that's the problem of your personality. It needs to be reprogrammed. There have been creators of late I've noticed that are burning out, quite visibly burning out. Creators who work away from this in the real world, right? Although this is a real job, if you say it isn't, shut up. But they're burning wick, candle at both ends as it were. The wick is completely eroded. Muta is a great example of it. He clearly looks like he needs to take a break. Others who've had to come back after taking a break because of a breakdown as well. It's quite common. I'm not trying to shame Muta, just to be clear. I just think he needs to take a little holiday. In your case, one can never tell if it's because you need a break, because you never make enough content to justify taking a break, because you're already taking one for 23 hours, 45 minutes. I included 10 minutes on top for editing the video you make.
I have to take the steps, even if it's hard, doing things to improve my mental health. And one of them is no longer talking about Rarity, and I'm tired of constantly trying to like defend myself, improve myself. Like, I just can't do it anymore. I can't. And I hope that you guys like genuinely understand that.
I do understand that, Amber. I 100% understand that, because you, Amberlynn Reid, do not like the fact that the internet, when you make a mistake, holds you accountable and will hyper-focus on that mistake until that mistake is corrected. Then they will continue to hold you accountable for the remainder of your years. Rarity, and the disappearance of, will be a forever stain on your name and reputation. It will call into question any trust anyone could ever have online for you when it comes to having a pet. You are in the category of foodie beauty now. You will never be able to leave it, especially if you replace her, and I expect that to be fair. I thought Vlogmas would end. I genuinely thought watching this we were going to go through you going through the 5 stages of grief and then accepting at the end Vlogmas is a bust. But apparently, unlike Moistmas, it's not. That's impressive.
Very Moistmas. Ew.
Meggy Moistmas.